So today we're making a pasta, and today we decided to do a pesto pasta Genoa style. What's distinct about Genoa style, it's got a little more garlicky, plus we added some potatoes and green beans to it. I learned this from a friend of mine who actually once got me a bottle of pesto from Genoa, and so we are replicating it, and it's finished with this nice Parmesan cheese, and it's ready to go. For the basil sauce, traditionally it's made with basil leaves, it's made with pine nuts, some garlic, olive oil, Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper. But it's also made with walnut pieces. And we're going to make it the Genoese way. Even the pasta, we will cook it that way. So I just washed the basil leaves, and that beautiful aroma of the basil comes. I'm just slicing the garlic, and this gets a decent amount of garlic because that garlic flavor is excellent. So I'm taking the walnuts, about a cupful of the walnuts. So it becomes like a coarse powder. This is a coarse powder. Now to this I'm going to add the basil leaves. Some people also add some spinach leaves to keep the green. You can also make a nice fresh pesto with the coriander, green coriander, or what we call cilantro in the United States. That also has got a really nice fresh taste to it. So now you can see it's kind of mixed in, getting a little creamy. Now to this I'm going to add olive oil, and then after that we'll be adding the seasoning, a little bit of lemon, and Reggiano cheese. We can use whatever cheese is locally available. The Parmesan, of course, has its own distinct flavor. Now you might ask that why don't you put it as whole pieces? They might not blend in properly. So now I'm going to incorporate the olive oil. Basic pesto ready. Now we're going to add some salt and pepper to it, and a little bit of lemon juice. Taste it so that it gets to the right way we want it, and our pesto is ready. Traced just right, which will go into the pesto pasta. This is a very Genoa thing. Let's do that. I already baked the potatoes. You could bake, or you could boil the potatoes and you dice them into small pieces, and the same thing, you blanch the green beans, and then after that you chop them, mix it into the pasta along with the pesto sauce, and your pasta is ready. One thing with the green beans, when you're cooking them, or any green vegetable, you only want to add it to the water when it comes to a boil. You don't want to add it before, because when you add it, the temperature will fall. And this is really quick cooking, 2-3 minutes. And then you want to get it out and immediately put it under cold water so that it retains the green color. Otherwise, it will get discolored. So here you can see that the water, and I put some salt in it, has come to a rolling boil, and that's when I add the beans into it. And they'll be in there for about 2 to 3 minutes. And then I'll be taking them out and immediately putting them in cold ice water so that it retains its color. That is stream. It stops the cooking also, otherwise they continue to cook. I'm going to take the water to boil for the pasta. Whenever you're cooking pasta, one of the things is you always salt the water because that is important. So my water has come to a rolling boil. Now I'm going to add the pasta to it. One thing with pasta is never break it. Getting there. I'm just trying the pasta. It's got another 1 or 2 minutes and then the pasta will be ready. Some of the pasta water you save because you want that when you're mixing the pasta together. Very important to save that. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to it so that it doesn't stick together. As I shared with you earlier, that you keep a little bit of the water, pasta water, because that is going to keep the pasta moist. Otherwise, if you're just thinking that the sauce is going to do it, it'll become dry. And I'm just dicing my potatoes up. And we are at the finish line. Okay, so these vegetables I'm going to throw into the pasta. Here it goes. Perfecto. I'm going to add some of that pasta water which I kept. Very important. Do not ever forget to keep pasta water. Otherwise your pasta is going to be so dry. And if you want to put water instead of pasta water, then it'll be watery. So one has to be careful on both sides. Okay, and now our pesto sauce that we made, I'm going to add that in and mix it in. The pasta alrighty. And it's got pesto, it's got some potatoes, some green onions, and it's full of flavor. The only thing which I've got to do, cheese on top. There it comes.